Hello and welcome to all students of class 10th. Good morning. I am Elsie Madam. I shall be dealing with social science subject. Yesterday we already started the chapter 3 of economics, money and credit. Just a recap of yesterday's class. First point was barter system. Barter system means that exchange is done between goods to goods. One of the main problem of barter system is that double coincidence of wants. Double coincidence of wants means both parties should agree to exchange their commodities to each other. After the introduction of money, all the problems are solved. Now, today's class started with loan activities of the bank. From the heading of the chapter, it is very clear that credit and money. What is credit? It is the loan activities. Here we take the story of banks. What do the banks do with the deposits which they accept from the public? Listen the question. What do the banks do with the deposits which they accept from the public? There is an interesting mechanism at work here. Bank keeps only a small proportion of their deposits as cash. At present, bank is keeping only 15% of their deposits as cash. This is kept as provision to pay the depositors who might come to withdraw money from the bank on any given day. And what is the use of this money? Bank make use of this deposit to meet the loan requirements of the public. Clear? Bank use these deposits to meet the loan requirements of the public. In this way, bank act as an intermediary between those who have surplus funds, that is the depositor, and those who are in need of these funds, that is borrowers. Banks charge a higher interest rate on loans than what they offer on deposits. Again I am telling, bank rate of interest will be high when the bank give loans to the public. When the bank accept the deposits from the public, bank will give only less rate of interest to the public. So, the difference between what is charged from the borrowers and what is paid to the depositors is their main sources of income. The difference between these two amounts is the income of the bank. That means bank is making the income from the air. I hope this point is clear for you. Next topic of our chapter is two different credit situations. Two different credit situations. Here, I already explained what is credit. It is an agreement between the lender or the borrower with money, goods or services. In simple language, It is known as a loan. And in return for the promise on future payment. Here, two types of people is explaining in our book. First one name is Salim. He is a shoe manufacturer. He has received an order from a large trader in town for 3,000 pairs of shoes to be delivered in a month time. But from where he will get the money? He has to purchase the raw materials. He has to buy other things what is necessary for the production. To meet these all the expenses, Salim obtains loan from two sources. First, he asked the leather supplier to supply leather now and promises to pay him later. Secondly, he obtains loan in cash from the large traders as advance payment for 1,000 pairs of shoes, with a promise to deliver the whole order by the end of the month. At the end of the month, Salim is able to deliver the order, make a good profit and repay the money that he had borrowed. Then here the credit helped him to meet the ongoing expenses of production, complete production on time, and thereby increases his earning. So credit plays a very important and positive role in this situation, because he was very able to repay the money without any difficulty because he got enough production. But one more story is there, that is about the Sapna. Sapna is a small farmer. She has only 3 acres of land, grows groundnut. To meet the expenses of the cultivation, he needs money. And he expects that he can repay the money after the harvest. But according to Indian agriculture, we know that agriculture depends upon monsoon. But monsoon is always uncertain. And she fails the crops. Then she is unable to repay the moneylender and the debt grows over the year into large amount. Sapna take a fresh loan for cultivation. It is a normal crop of that year. But the earnings are not enough to cover her loan. She is caught in a debt. She has to sell a part of the land to pay off the debt. Now here we can understand that two types of people. Both of the people are taking the loans. One, Salim was able to repay the money back, but Sapna was finding much difficulty to repay the money back. So in this situation, we need the support of the banks or some other type of informal credit peoples. Now, next term, it is known as terms of credit. Terms of credit. Terms of credit means that to get money from the to get money from the bank, we have to submit some securities to the bank. Then only bank have a confidence we are able to repay the money back. That type of securities are known as collateral. Collateral security against the loan. Collateral is an asset that the borrower owns, such as land, building, vehicles, livestock, deposits with the bank, and use this as a guarantee to a lender until the loan is repaid. Now, interest rate, collateral securities, and the documentation requirement and the mode of repayment together is called as terms of credit. Is it clear what is terms of credit? Interest rate, collateral securities, or documentation requirement. Together we are called as a terms of credit. Second last point of our chapter is formal and informal credit. Formal and informal credit. The various type of loans can be conveniently grouped as two types. One is formal sector loans and another one is informal sector loans. So there are all types of loans are divided into two, formal sector and informal sector. Formal sector loans means loans from banks and cooperatives. Informal sector means money lenders, traders, employers, relatives, and friends. This we can clearly explain with the help of a pie chart. Here, the Reserve Bank of India supervises the functioning of formal sources of loans. For instance, we have seen that banks maintain a minimum cash balance. I already said to you, 15% of the deposits they receive, the Reserve Bank monitors the banks is actually maintaining cash balance. Periodically, banks have to submit information to the RBI on how much they are lending to whom, at what rate of interest. There is no organization which supervises the credit activities of lenders in the informal sector. RBI supervision only in the formal sector. In informal sector, there is no organization which supervises the credit activities. They can lend at whatever interest rate they choose. There is no one to stop them from using unfair means to get their money back. Always informal lenders charge a much higher rate of interest on loans. Higher cost of borrowing means large part of the earnings of the borrowers is used to repay the loan. So, in certain cases, the high rate of interest for borrowing can mean the amount to be repaid is greater than the income of the borrower. This could lead to the increasing debt. For this reason, banks and cooperative society need to lend more money to the poor people at cheap and affordable credit is crucial for the country's development. Thus, it is very necessary that banks and cooperative increases their lending, particularly in the rural area, so that the dependence on informal sectors of credit can reduce. Second point, while formal sector loans need to expand, it is also necessary that everyone receive these loans. Now, we enter into the last point of this chapter, that is known as self-help group. I repeat, topic is self-help group. Here, some of the rural areas, bank facilities are not available. So the people is finding much difficulty to get the money for their day-to-day purpose. In recent years, people have tried out some newer ways of providing loans to the poor. The idea is to organize rural poor, in particular women, into a small self-help groups and pool their saving. These people are collecting their saving. Mainly, the number of people is 15 to 20 members. They belonging to one neighborhood who meet and save regularly. Saving per member varies from 25 to rupees 100 or more according to their capacity. And members can take small loans from the group itself to meet their needs. The group charges interest on these loans. The group charges interest on these loans, but this is still less than what the money lender charges. After a year or two, if the group is regular in saving, it becomes eligible for availing loan from the bank. Thank you. Chapter is over. Now, I am giving the homework. Same, yes, just like yesterday's homework. Today's homework pages are page number 42, 43, 44, 45, 46 and 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. Read and find out 10 short answer type questions and answers to, and send it in my personal WhatsApp number. No need of writing the stories in the summary of the chapter. And today is 28. You have to submit the summary of the chapter on 30th April. I have to get your summary of this chapter. Then only it is considered as your notebook completion. So before writing the summary of the chapter, you have to write. Yesterday 20 objectives I had given, that you have to write first, then summary. So okay, thank you. I hope it is clear for you.